Tipperary, 3 goals and 17 points. Galway, 3 goals and 16. Michael.
Ger Canning and Michael Dignan in the commentary box there, of course. Well, the first thing that has to be said to the panel here, I guess, it's heartbreaks Earl to lose a game, and tight game like that, but it was a great game of hurling.
A titanic game, an epic. It was a brilliant game, and we really needed it for hurling this year. Both teams went ahead hammers and tongs. The true caution to the wind in the second half. For a while there were a few minutes to go, I think Galway on top. Next thing
Tomas, but you know, the thing about the problem that if the game finished a minute or two earlier, it would be one score. Maybe a minute or two later, it might be another score.
Yeah, and you were kind of saying with the last play there, with the referee going to wait until the ball got back into open play, or maybe give a chance to throw it in again, you know, because yeah, that's hurling, Michael. 317 to 316. I mean, it was a fantastic game, a great advertisement for hurling. It's okay. Tipperary are going to be very happy with their performance. You would say at one stage in the second half where they're going to commit suicide there on the basis of all the 2 goals that they left in, got Galway back into the game, and then you said substitutions. Kevin Hayes, Cannon coming on, they're going to push it home, and Galway are going to win this game. But they never gave up, Tipperary, and then they made the substitutions. Ron Paburke, he gave the vital ball back there to Lark Corbett, and I think at the end Tipperary justified the win, being honest with you. I thought they created more up front, and I think they deserved the win by a point today.
Yeah. Ger?
Well, sure, you know, you hope all year long that you'll have some kind of an epic game, and today you had the epic of epics. This is, since 2004 Munster final, I can't remember a more enjoyable, more fiercely contested game as we had today. Now, huge bonus here for Tipperary. An accusation against Liam Sheedy was that he had never won a tight match, but especially he had never won a tight match by making a match-winning switch. Behind Paburke played very well, and then he laid on that final pass for Lark Corbett to get the point. Now, for a team to come from 2 points down with 2 minutes to go, to win by a point, scoring points, is a huge thing for Tipperary.
Yes.
And especially after conceding 2 very soft goals. Now, Galway were heroic. That's the best I have seen Galway playing in years and years. But at the end of the day, taking that they gave away 2 soft goals, and taking that they gave 2 points down at the end, you'd have to say the Tips slightly deserved it.
Ah, no doubt, yes. Let's get the thoughts then of the Tipperary manager, Liam Sheedy. He is talking to Joanne Cantwell.
Well, Liam, you were bouncing off the walls as you came in here. That was some win.
Yeah, really delighted. You know, I suppose halfway through the second half, or coming close to the end when we went to 3 points down, I suppose it didn't look really good for us. But in fairness to the lads, I thought they just emptied everything out on the field there in the last 10 minutes. And you know, we were hanging on. You know, the last ball going into the square. But in fairness to the lads, epic second half, epic game. I think some great scores got by both sides. And you know, we had a good start to the second half and got a few points ahead. And then we let a killer goal in, and then they got the penalty. And you know, some memories start flooding back about penalties in Croke Park, and you start to wonder, is it going to be your day? But thankfully, the lads really dug in, and you know, it just goes to show you the importance of the bench. I thought that, you know, the lads that came off the bench really went for the game after coming on and made the difference. And you know, you get that feeling after training with them for the last number of weeks. The competition that's there for places is top class for every position, and as I said, that's a sweet victory.
Absolutely. You said you were hanging on there. In many ways, do you feel that you should have been hanging on, or should you have been maybe slightly ahead at that stage?
Well, I think, you know, maybe some of the goals that we conceded we'd be disappointed with. Let's be honest. You know, we like to think that we have a mean defence, and generally we have. But just one of those days, you know, they got 3 goals in us, and you know, to concede 316. If someone had told me before the match we concede 316 and still win the game, I'd be sort of questioning myself, you know. But you know, as I said, just really the heart and determination that the lads showed. You know, I think there's been maybe questions asked after our defeat in Munster. You know, are these boys really up for it, or do they really want it? I think they gave everyone their answer today. Very happy with it. But you know, I would have to feel really sorry for Galway. You know, there was 2 teams out there today. I think both teams give absolutely everything. I think John and his squad can be very proud. You know, it was a really tough game. Could have went either way. And you know, if it was a draw or if we to lose it, you know, as I said, it was hanging on a knife edge right to the finish.
Yeah, you gave us all a great game. Coming into the match, were you uncertain as to whether they'd fully gotten over that defeat to Cork earlier on in the year?
Well, look, I mean, you know, as I said, we had 2 rounds in the qualifiers, you know, just to try and build a bit of momentum again. And you know, we did get through the qualifiers, but we got an awful lot of work done in the training field as well, which stood to us. You know, but you know, the bar is raised again. You know, we're pitted again, the Munster champions in the next round. You know, so. But as I said, today was all about trying to get into an All-Ireland semi-final again, and just delighted for the squad of players and the backroom team for the work they've put in. It's great to be back in All-Ireland semi-final.
Yeah, what about Waterford though? I'm sure you saw them in action last week.
That's for another day, Joanne. I think we'll just cherish today now, and as I said, we'll start thinking about the opposition come tomorrow, but just delighted to be in there.
Well, you deserve it. Thanks a lot, Liam. Well done today.
All right.
Well, I guess they're entitled to cherish that victory in such a tight and exciting finish. There's no doubt, Tomas, that the game against Cork is well and truly behind them now. They've pushed on from there.
No doubt about that, Michael, and this is going to stand to them big time, and they are serious contenders now for All-Ireland glory, you know. I mean, we all said what happened after last year in the All-Ireland final. They were into Kilkenny's faces, and they've got back that attitude today. I mean, kitchen sink was thrown at them by Galway there. You'd say they were dead and buried, but they never gave up. They had that belief, they had a hunger, and in defence there, when the high ball started raining down on top of them, guys were putting up their hand, they were winning ball, and they were bursting out, and they showed serious passion about their jersey. And I mean, that's probably what won it for them in the end, right? That they had this never say die attitude when people maybe had questioned this all along. Were they good enough? Were they gone back from last year and stuff like that? But they show today now that they are serious contenders.
There's no doubt about that. We're going to take a short break. More on this hurling quarter-finals.
Well, John, obviously defeats are always difficult to take, especially in the championship, but when it's a game so tight like that, it must be particularly difficult.
Well, I'm just after leaving our dressing room in absolute devastation. And you know, there's winners and there's losers, and I don't feel my team are losers today. I'm very proud of them. They died with their boots on, and I couldn't have asked for any more. You've got to give Tip enormous credit, 2 points down in the dying embers of the match, and they had the wherewithal and the courage and maybe the experience to pull out the 3 match winning scores. And it's a great win for Tipperary. But in a game where such tight margins, you know, there's a world of difference between winners and losers. But looking at it from the sideline, it was 2 evenly matched teams going at it hammer and tongs. The Galway players left everything on the field. They're absolutely crestfallen in there, as are the backroom team, myself. I couldn't be prouder of them. And, you know, fair dues to Tip. You know, they won it the hard way. We gave it everything. We just fell short at the line, and you know, I wish Tip the very best of luck in the All-Ireland semi-final against Waterford. I just said it in their dressing room, if they get back against Kilkenny next September and they go the whole way, what happened to them and the trauma of last September, the victory, the All-Ireland win will be worth twice as much as it would have been last year. But that's no consolation to me, even though I'm a Tipperary man, and you know, very proud of the Galway players, and you know, dreading waking up again in the morning, but sure, that's sport, you know. And
not just 1 to 15, I'm sure the subs you brought on made such a huge difference as well.
Yeah, look, we were in the zone today. We had heeded the lessons of the Kilkenny match. We changed our routine. We had a fresher team out there today. Ultimately, though, Tipperary finished stronger, and you know, I can't say they were deserving winners or anything like that, but if we had won it would have been just the same way. It could have gone either way at the finish. Looking at it from the sideline, it looked a great game, and I think Galway have answered a lot of those question marks that have been posed by journalists, my fellow profession and supporters and pundits. You know, we kept going to the bitter end. We fell on 2 or 3 different occasions, 3 or 4 points behind. Nobody rose the white flag, nobody threw in the towel, and just break here, break there. That was the difference in the end, and Tip got them in the end. And you know, we just have to pick ourselves up, lick our wounds, and I don't know where we go from here. You know.
Did those questions that were being raised, did they really drive this team going into today?
No, the players are self-driven. They want to do it for themselves. They've put in a power of work, just the same as Tipperary has. I mean, see, the problem with when a team loses is the pundits, again, the Fourth Estate, the supporters just assume that things are not right in the camp. You know, and there was such a thin line there between winning and losing today. And you know, when teams lose matches, the perception out there is that the management were off the pace, the players were off the pace. You know, in a game like today, it could have gone either way, as Liam Sheedy said to me. And Tip have got the breaks today, fair dues to them. And you know, but Jesus, this is tough.
I know it is. Thank you so much for your time, John.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Galway manager, John McIntyre there, and I suppose what makes winning so wonderful is part of what makes losing so cruel. Just briefly, lads, let's go back to that second half. Galway got a boost right at the start of it, Cyril. Damien Hayes' goal.
Yeah, and if Tip lost, they'd be cringing, and so would Liam Sheedy and the backs here. This is a goal that shouldn't be. No, Hayes took it very well.